What is going on, guys? Welcome back to TVandME, and this is my reaction review to Season 1 Episode 2 of The Man in the High Castle. So you may notice something a little different about this week's episode. My brother couldn't make it this week because he was busy. He will be back next week, so do not worry. He shall be joining me for next week's episode. But I was able to get a last minute substitute. So everybody meet Richard. Richard, meet everybody. Now you've met, let's get on with the recap. So it's actually been a really busy week for me this week, and because I've been watching The Walking Dead as well, I started that series. I've actually forgotten a lot of the names because I've had so many new names introduced to me in that show as well, but luckily I wrote them down. I've got them here. So we met Joe Blake. Joe Blake was the guy at the beginning of season 1 who we thought was working for the Resistance, but it turns out he's a spy working for the Nazis, and he drove a truck from it might have been New York. I think it was from the east coast of America into the neutral zone, into a place called Cannon City. He drove there, discovered a film on the truck, which we believe is the second half to the film Juliana has. Now, Juliana got her part of the film because her sister, Trudy, she got killed passing it to her. She passed her the film, she ran away, and then she got killed by soldiers. So Juliana now has that half of the film. She too found a little card saying that she had to go Cannon City. Her sister Trudy had to go Cannon City. So she followed that up. She went to Cannon City as well, where she met Joe. So many names. She met Joe. They met up and they interacted. And they both have one half of the film. Although I don't think they know at this point they both have half of the film. We also met... oh my god, what was his name? Von Grubelführer. That's totally wrong, I bet, but something like that. Von Grubelführer. I can't remember his name, but I think he's also the marshal, the guy the woman on the bus told Juliana about. God, I got that out eventually. He's a Nazi hunter who goes after people who are working against the state, the Nazi state in America. So the Greater Reich, or whatever it's called, their city now. We also briefly met some of the Japanese who were occupying the Pacific states on the west coast of America. And I forgot to mention this. Well, me and my brother didn't talk about this in last week's recap after the episode because I didn't really pick it up until I was editing the episode. But there was a lot of mentions of an oracle. Now, what's funny about that is my brother made a reference because we were trying to come up with theories about where this film came from. We talked about parallel universes, which is still my number one theory. But we also talked, well, he talked about the Matrix, like how it could be a virtual reality world, and I dismissed it straight away. But apparently the Japanese have a character called the Oracle. Now they kept mentioning like how fate, she could see fate or something like that, but man can change destiny, or the other way around. And is it possible that this is the Oracle like in the Matrix films? Who knows? We also learnt another little bit of information, which might be crucial, it might not, but the war ended in 1952, and that happened by the Nazis dropping a hydrogen bomb on Washington DC. So whether that comes into play or not, I don't know, because when we saw one of the German representatives talking to the Japanese representative, they said about how if Hitler dies, because, oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that, Hitler is near death, he's old, he's got, I think they said Parkinson's or something like that, and there's a bit of a fight of power going on, a fight for power between, oh god, who was it? I think it was Himmler and Goebbels, something like that. There's a worry from the Japanese side that if Hitler dies, then the Nazis might then take a hard line and then drop hydrogen bombs on the Japanese Pacific states, which will start a war between them two. Oh yeah, her boyfriend Frank got taken by the Japanese as well. Completely forgot about that. But yeah, that's about it. So let's just get into it. This is episode 2, season 1 of The Man in a High Castle. Let's do this, Richard. So Frank was on the Japanese side, wasn't he? Yeah. He saw the film as well, didn't he? So I wonder if, well, I guess he will. He'll tell them what he saw.
Feel like a drive?
Where to?
Suspicious, aren't you?
I wonder if he knows who she is, that she's got the other half of the film. But I guess if he knew she had the other half, he'd just take it. And I think the Nazi guy said to him it would be a guy meeting him. He said he. So maybe he's not expecting it to be a woman.
So I do have one question for you.
Uh-oh.
Is there a Mr. Judy?
There's a Frank.
Is he your husband?
That's 2 questions. My turn. What's a guy like you doing driving a truck?
Ask me something else. I'm just following in my father's footsteps.
What would you like to do?
That's 2 questions. What do you mean?
With your life. If you could do anything.
But I can't.
Come on.
Honestly?
Yeah.
Just about anything else.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I normally don't introduce anyone who's shorter than myself, but
So was that the guy he was meant to meet? So he was meant to meet a guy.
You bring the bacon in, please, Amy? Yes, Mommy.
Huh. Maybe it's just coincidence they both were meant to meet someone in the same city.
Jenny?
You called?
Where were you, Joe?
I couldn't sleep. I went for a drive.
Has your contact approached you?
No, not yet.
We must be assessing you.
Huh. That guy mustn't have been.
We received intelligence
contact.
this morning. We believe a courier is carrying some cargo from San Francisco.
Okay, what's his name?
It's a woman, not a man. Now, we don't know if she's headed to Cannon City.
Shit.
You report in immediately if you see her.
He knows. Is he going to say anything?
Is she carrying a film too?
Who said you were carrying a film?
I checked the cargo. I wanted to make sure it was safe.
Joe. Those weren't your orders.
I'm sorry, sir. But what's so important about a film?
It's not your place to ask questions, Joe. Satisfy yourself with following orders. Understand?
Yes. Übergruppenführer.
You're performing a great service for the fatherland. Highlander.
Well, I guess he just signed his own death certificate by revealing that he knew it was a film.
So, it's not just you who should be exterminated, but also your sister Laura and her children too.
I'm begging you, please. Please.
I could overlook this if you cooperate fully. You know what I want. The film.
So he does know about
Judy
it.
Walker gave it to your girlfriend, who has now fled. Where is Juliana Crane?
So maybe the Japanese have a copy of the film, and maybe the Germans have a copy of the film. So they've got mutually assured insurance, if that makes sense. So they've both got proof of what really happened against each other in case one turns on the other.
not much good if just about anyone has.
Oh shit.
But who would do such a thing? Stealing money
So what's the bets? If he watches it, he'll turn against the Nazis? Because he seems pretty curious and he's already disobeyed orders. I wonder what that means as well, that Grasshopper lies heavy.
We understand you've arrested suspects smuggling subversive films. Ones produced by the so-called man in the High Castle before his death.
We've heard rumors the man in the high castle is still alive.
No, he's dead.
So it's
We've known
natural
for some
person.
months. We understand a fourth suspect fled with the films they were smuggling. A woman.
You seem very well informed.
And the Nazis?
They say there's nothing at all.
What do you say?
Chapter 12, verse 5. You can pick up a copy at the bookstore.
So who is he?
So-called man in the High Castle. I reckon Mr. Goebbels says that not even Fräulein Riefenstahl could make films of such sophistication.
If he made them.
I don't understand if he didn't. Who did?
Jesus Christ, all those guys trained by the stormtroopers.
Who the hell are you?
I'm a man just like you. A man who wants to breathe free.
Spare me the propaganda bullshit, alright? I'm in your name.
Why'd you tell him?
The Japanese using him to get information out of him.
Oh, maybe. Why'd you tell him?
But it's just a trick.
Have you?
How's Eric? He's in critical condition. One of the bullets lodged only 2 inches from his heart. I'm afraid I have more bad news, sir.
Don't be coy, Lawrence.
It's Hauptsturmführer Laut.
R.I.P. Richard.
Missing when?
That film can change the world. Yeah, it certainly changed mine.
Why do you think they torture us?
I got a feeling you're gonna tell me.
Because they know that that film shows the world not as it is, but as it could be.
Yeah, well, in this world, they flattened DC with an A-bomb. How you people think a film is gonna fight against that?
The grasshopper shall be a burden.
Grasshopper. That's what's written on the film. I still have no idea what it means, but it's got the same word.
They're determined to find a woman smuggling a film, destined for the man in the high castle. And what does that have to do with us? We did not inform them about the smuggler, and yet they knew. It's clear your Nazi colleagues have infiltrated our security services. Then give me the secrets. Let me deliver them. And if that oracle of yours tells you not to go through with it,
Oh, is that Frank's?
Oh, it's a formality. We're reviewing the records of your brother.
Frank?
Ah, yeah, it is. Frank's sister.
Please, we have a very comfortable waiting room down the hall.
Shit.
I'll be with you as soon as
Why is the furniture covered in plastic stuff? Easy to wipe blood off.
TV? Yes. Yes.
What are you gonna do? You've heard of Zyklon D?
Gas.
Yes.
He's much improved since the war.
Just let him go. Where is Juliana Clay? We know Miss Walker met her at an arm shop. We know she gave her the film. We even know she took it to the neutral zone.
So maybe that's the man she was meant to meet. Maybe they weren't meant to meet each other. God, it's so confusing. I don't know if those two are meant to meet each other or they both had someone they're meant to meet separately in the same cafe. Unless... Oh shit, I just thought maybe that's the marshal. Because that woman said he works in the neutral zone. Maybe Obergrubenführer isn't the marshal. Maybe that's the marshal. That guy there.